What's up, y'all? What's up? What's up? What's up? Hey, everybody. Happy Friday. Happy Friday. What's good? Let me do my roll call. Let's see who's here. I already see some people in the room. By the way, hey, you ready for my friend's story time? Yeah. It's not really a whole lot going on celebrity news. So I figured today be a good day. What's up, B-Lo? Hey, what pulls my teeth? What's up, Retro? What's up, Morgan? Hey, Miss Bait Thing. That's Retro CG from TSF, y'all. Y'all know we be over there talking Power and P Valley, and they getting ready to start doing Top Boy. I know some of y'all said that y'all like Top Boy. If you're not familiar with Top Boy, I think it's on Netflix, right, Retro? So you guys can get caught up. They're going to start talking about Top Boy soon. So what's up? Hey, So Jeff. What's up, Ebbs? Hey, Sharber. What's up, you guys? You love story time. Hey, Keisha. What's up, y'all? You caught the lot? Yes, honey. And it's informal today because I'm taking my braids out while I'm talking to y'all. So, because I gotta get these braids out. I've been napping. So, but I gotta get these braids out. I have an appointment first thing in the morning. No, we ain't gonna do House of Dragons because half of them don't even watch it. I'm pretty certain Retro doesn't watch it. I'm not sure about. I think Jack of Jordan's watches it, but I'm not sure about Juggernaut. So I don't think we're doing House of Dragons. Y'all know I still haven't looked at it. I may look at that. No, I'm lying. I'm not gonna look at it tonight. I may look at it tomorrow. I still have not looked at the first episode. This week, getting back into the swing of things at work is giving me a minute. Plus, I'm really not feeling 100%. I gotta go I'm trying to get a doctor's appointment. I'm not really feeling 100%. I'm not sure what's going on. So I've really been sleeping a lot, honestly. Like every day this week, I've come home and taken a nap. So I really haven't. Yeah, I love Game of Thrones. What's up? Life with Us TV. Listen, girl, I owe you a phone call because I know that's Lynette. I know that ain't Stanley, child. I owe you a phone call because I have not talked to you in forever. That's my girl right there. Y'all not doing Power? YouTube be tripping. So if you're doing Raising Canaan or if y'all did P Valley, I didn't get none of the notifications. Well, actually, I know y'all were busy this summer, so y'all may or may not have been. If y'all are interested in going on a cruise anytime soon, y'all check out my girl Lynette. Life with Us TV is their lifestyle blog. They do random TV reviews too, but they've been traveling. Look at it. She said we getting ready to leave again. Girl, I need to call you and find out where y'all get ready to go to now. Yeah, me and Abby were going to do their cruise in August, but then France came up, and so we had put our deposit down and everything. We were going to do the cruise they were doing. But if y'all are interested in a cruise, y'all go over to their channel and check them out because Lynette, she does cruises. So y'all go check her out. Hey, Chocolate Rose. Glad you made it back safely. How was your experience in France? Yeah, we about to get into it now as soon as I can get done running my mouth. I'm getting over COVID slowly. I haven't been working full time in a couple of weeks. Oh, wow. I didn't realize you had COVID, Danny. I don't think I knew that. Well, I'm glad you're getting over it. I ain't gonna say I don't think. I'm pretty certain I don't have COVID because I took a test. But I don't know. I'm not feeling 100%. So I gotta figure out what's going on. But anyway, so let's get into it. So for those who don't know, I went to France August. What day did we leave? Oh, did we leave the 17th, the 15th, something like that. So how did my France trip come out? Because like I said, me and Abby, we were going on the cruise with Life with Us TV with Lynette and Stanley and the crew, and I was looking forward to it. I was excited. I said I'm be hanging out with some Black folk that like to travel and mingle and have a good time. I love cruises, so I was excited about that. And then my cousin hit me up. My cousin, who lives in Kenya. Well, technically she don't live in Kenya, but it's easier for me to just say she lives in Kenya. She lives in Kenya, and she was going to be in the south of France this summer. She was taking a perfumery class. My cousin is one of those people that always got a hobby, right? She's always got a new hobby. So her hobby right now is making perfume. She's really gotten into, the scents and the different things or whatever. So she's, doing perfume. So she said, she hit me and my other cousin up. Three of us are real cool, And she was like, would y'all be interested in coming to the south of France this summer? And we were like, hell yeah, like duh. So that's how the trip started. So we were going to meet her. She was going to be in Grasse, which is right outside of Nice. And so we were like, let's go. She was like, let's go down to Saint-Tropez. Saint-Tropez is about an hour and a half from Nice. We drove. It took us about an hour and a half to get to Saint-Tropez from Nice. So I was like, cool. I've been to Cannes. But my other cousin, Shelly, she's never been to Paris. And a couple of years ago, we talked about going to Paris. And so I said to her, look, when we started looking at flights, our layover was in Paris. Like most of the flights that we looked at, the layover was in Paris. So I was like, if we have a layover in Paris, I asked my cousin, I said, do you want to just do a couple of days in Paris? Since we're going to have a layover there anyway, we might as well just fly in a couple of days early, do Paris, and then get a flight from Paris to Nice. She was like, sounds like a plan. So that's how the trip got started. Planning the trip was pretty easy breezy. We looked for flights, we looked for hotels. We did a boutique hotel in France. The one thing I'm gonna tell you guys, for anybody who's never been to France, and this is true for a lot of countries outside of the United States. I think people who've never traveled outside of the United States, people who've never traveled outside the United States tend to forget how young the United States is. The United States, we are babies. As a country, we are babies. A lot of our buildings are baby buildings. And what I mean by that is most of the buildings here in the United States are not going to be more than 200 to 300 years old. And I know that sounds like a lot, but not when you go over to, Europe, where the buildings are thousands of years old, right? So a lot of the hotels, the rooms are not that big. The room, get to the food. The food, you're gonna be disappointed with the food. Sorry, Jason. I'm not a foodie, so you're gonna probably be disappointed when I start talking about the food. But okay. So we got a boutique hotel because again, even if you're staying at like a name hotel that we know over here, like a chain hotel, unless it's a new building, if it's an older building, the rooms aren't that big. So we stayed at a boutique hotel. We looked at all of the like reviews, or TripAdvisor and stuff like that. And the perfume, the room was cute. The hotel was really cute. The room was cute. The descriptions were on point as far as where we were. We were centrally located to a lot of stuff. I don't think we took the longest Uber ride that we took or cab ride that we took was when we went to the Louis Vuitton Foundation. Now, the Louis Vuitton Foundation is basically an art museum that's funded by Louis Vuitton. So it's not a store. It's not the history of Louis Vuitton. It's an art museum. And that was the furthest cab ride we took the whole time we were in France. Everything else was within either walking distance or no more than 15-minute cab ride. And that was with traffic. What's up, Cams? Hey, boo. So we left on a when what did we damn y'all can't remember already. I think we left on a Tuesday and we got there Wednesday morning. No, we left on a Wednesday, we got there Thursday morning because we had all day Thursday, all day Friday, and then we left Saturday. No. We left on Tuesday, we got there Wednesday because we had all day Wednesday, all day Thursday, and all day Friday. Nope, that's what it was. So we had an overnight flight. So hey Casmina. Casmine. So the flight was pretty uneventful there. It was a straight flight to France. Once we got on board, which was, getting through the airport was pretty good. Navigating the airport was pretty good. We get to Paris. Charles de Gaulle is a huge airport. It's a huge, huge, huge airport. So, of course, we had to go through customs. The line was pretty long, but it wasn't ridiculously long, right? It was it took us maybe about 30 minutes to get through everything. So when I went to London, it was about that. It was about that for London. Now, here's where things start getting funny. So I don't know how into the details y'all want me to get, but needless to say, we were walking all over Charles de Gaulle because we were trying to get to the ticket counter for Air France because we were trying to get something straight on our flight back. Our flight coming back wasn't linked. And what I mean by that is we were flying from Nice to Paris and from Paris to back to DC, but our flights weren't linked. So what we were trying to do was get our flights linked so that we didn't have to worry about getting our luggage and having to recheck our luggage. And every time we called, they were like, "Oh, well, you can't do that over. We can't do it over the phone. You have to do it when you get to the airport." So once we got to the airport, we walked all over Charles de Gaulle trying to get to Air France, the ticket counter, so we could have this conversation. We finally get to the ticket counter after walking all through the damn airport with our luggage. We finally get to the ticket counter only for them to say, "Oh, they have to do that in Nice. We can't do it here." Okay, fine. So then we get what's up, Jay Parrish? Hey, boo. Hey, Lemon Kush. Oh no, I'm sending you a caring prayer. Wear my mask every day and get vaccinated. I hope I don't get it again, but it's around, unfortunately. Yeah, it is. And look, me and my cousin wore our mask all through France, and people were not wearing their mask. I'm like, a lot of places we went, we were the only ones with our mask on. I was like, well, damn. Like, you know what I mean? A lot of places we went, we were the only ones with our mask on. But anyway, so we get a cab now. I have 2 suitcases. My cousin has 2 suitcases, and both of us have a book bag. So we got an Uber from the airport to our hotel, and the Uber said it could seat 4. So I was like, okay, well, if it can seat 4, it should be big enough for our luggage. If it can seat 4 people, I'm thinking, okay, it's big enough for our luggage. Child, we get there, and basically the dude has the equivalent of like a station wagon. Okay. Our luggage was riding in the front seat. Our luggage was in our lap. It was a lot. So, dude weighed about $1.50 soaking wet. So we were worried about him keeling over from trying to lift our luggage. Okay. We get in the car, we on our way. And we're talking to him a little bit or whatever. And he was like, "Oh, y'all are from America." We were like, "Yeah." He immediately, like as soon as we like he was playing like French music, right? The minute we said we were from the United States, he was like, "Oh, where you guys from?" We told him where we were from or whatever. This dude starts playing DJ Khaled. And when I say he starts playing DJ Khaled, he started playing, like bumping it, like blasting DJ Khaled. And then he played, I don't know the song. I don't know who the rapper was, but whatever the song was and whatever the rapper was, the person was cussing every other word out his mouth, and it was nigga, 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 nigga. And me and my cousin looked at each other like, does he think this is what we want to hear? Like, does he think he's doing us a favor? Like, what the hell? Now, me, I'm still a little I'm still a little tired because I didn't sleep well on the plane. The plane was hot. that was now the one complaint I had going to was that the plane was hot. Generally, I'm not cold on planes, but I'm comfortable. And I was hot, so I didn't really sleep that well on the plane. So I literally fell asleep in the cab. The one time I woke up, because it was about a 45-minute to a 50-minute ride. The one time I woke up, we almost got hit by a bus. Yes, a whole bus. The dude cut the bus off, and the bus almost T-boned us. And then he proceeded to cuss the bus out as if it was the bus's fault that it wasn't going to stop. Once I saw that, I said, let me just go on back to sleep. Because if I die, then I'm just going to die in my sleep because I don't need to see this no more. We get to the hotel. We get to the hotel, okay? And shout a bus. Yes, a bus. Listening to DJ Khaled with somebody rapping about nigga. Okay? So we get to the hotel. We get checked in. The room is cute. It's small, but it's cute. You know, it's clean. Whatever. And we decided that we wanted to go to the Eiffel Tower, but my cousin wanted to go at night. So we was like, okay. So we said we were gonna go to the Eiffel Tower at night. So I'm trying to decide what we did first. I should have wrote it down because I'm trying to decide what we did first. Okay, I remember what we did first. Hey, cool gamer. So first we went down to the Eiffel Tower because when we looked it up online, we when we tried to buy tickets online to go to the top of the Eiffel Tower, there were no more online tickets available. So we were like, all right, well, let's go down there so we can, figure out, because we knew she wanted to go. I've been to the Eiffel Tower, so I didn't care, about going at night or during the day or whatever. So we were like, let's go down to the Eiffel Tower so we can figure out the ticket situation, if we need to get tickets tonight or get tickets tomorrow, if it's already sold out for the day or whatever. So we went down there and we found that out. And basically, they told us what was the best time to come. The Eiffel Tower doesn't close till midnight. And the lady was like, come back around 9:30, 10 o'clock. That'll give you enough time to go to the top, because they stopped taking people up to the top, I think, at 10:30, I think, is when they stopped going all the way to the top. They'll go to, there are two like tiers. So you can go to the first level of the Eiffel Tower, but after 10:30, you can't go all the way to the top. So she was like, if you get here between 9:30 and 10 o'clock, that's a good time. The line isn't too long, whatever. We were like, okay, cool. So we left there and we went to, because my cousin and I, we're both into bags. We're both purse people. So we have found this really not famous, but yes, it's a pretty popular consignment shop, and they sell like a lot of the designer labels, and they have good reviews and stuff like that. And we have found it on it's like a Black travel group on Facebook that we're both a part of, and people have posted like, this is a good place to go, y'all go check it out there before you go by there, because she has good pieces, good prices, and people have posted like bags that they had purchased and the prices and stuff. So we got the Uber to take us to the consignment shop. Child, here's where it got ugly. So the thing about France, hey Janae, and really a lot of European countries, in European countries, they encourage vacations. Not like here in the United States. They actually encourage vacations. And people in Europe like straight up take a month off work in the summer. Like they straight up vacation. They shut down. They don't work. They legit are gone for like a month at a time. Well, August is that month in Paris. So for future reference, August is that month in Paris. A lot of places were closed while we were there. A lot of places were closed. We get all the way over to the vintage, to the consignment shop. They're closed. And we happened to run into this lady who was from New York, who she travels to Paris a lot for work. You could tell she was real like Fifth Avenue, but she was really nice. Because she was talking about how she was trying to get into Hermes because Hermes only selects a certain number of people per day. And so you could tell she was very Fifth Avenue, but she was, like I said, she was real cool. And she had walked up and she was like, "Oh, are they closed?" And we were like, "Yeah," but there was a number there. It was like, "If we're closed, call this number." So we were trying to call the number. And she said, "Oh, wait a minute, let me try to call her because I have her number. I come here all the time." So she called the lady. The lady was on vacation because she had a store, and then 2 doors down is her daughter's store. So her and her daughter both have a store right there together. Both stores were closed. And she was like, she called the lady, and the lady was like, "Oh yeah, we on vacation. We won't be back till September." And she was like, "Oh my gosh." And she was like, "This lady has the greatest stuff." She said, "I come here all the time. I've gotten some really nice pieces, vintage pieces from here." And we were like, "That is not what we want to hear." You know what I mean? Like, that is the last thing we want to hear. So that was sort of a bust. So then she was like, we were like, "Okay, well, is there somewhere around here to eat? Because by this time we're hungry, you know." And she said, "Well, basically the part of town where we were near like a lot of the high-end hotels and stuff." She was like, "Honestly, y'all probably don't want to eat around here because like basically this is the place where you're gonna pay $50 for a salad." And so she was like, "I mean, there are a lot of places to eat around here, but I don't know if that's how y'all want to eat." And so we were like, "Damn, okay." So we went into, we went on our phone. We were looking for like little like bars and stuff like that. So we started walking. First, we were walking the wrong way. We were near some government buildings because there was a lot of like military out there, and they were like, "Y'all can't go down the street." We were like, "Okay, well, the GPS is telling us to go this way." He was like, "Ain't nothing down here. Y'all can't walk down here." We were like, "Damn." So we ended up walking around looking for restaurants and places to eat. Every place was fucking closed. Like, we kept finding places, but they were all closed. Why? Everybody on vacation. So we finally found one place that was open, and the dude was like, "Oh, well, all we're serving right now is alcohol." He was like, "We're not gonna have food till dinner. Like, we're closed. Like, y'all are here in between lunch and dinner." So then it was like, "Well, damn. Okay, fine." So I said, "Well, do you want to just take a Uber back to the hotel at this point?" Because I said, at this point, maybe we could just, as we're going back to the hotel, if we see somewhere we can stop. Because we knew there were places to eat. We were just in the wrong part of town at that point. And I was like, we could keep walking around, but everywhere we literally had stumbled into 5 or 6 places that were all closed. So at this point, we were like, "Listen, let's just stop at like a little, near the hotel was like a little like the equivalent of like a CVS or whatever." And I was like, at this point, I just get some chips and some soda or something and hold me over until we go back out to the Eiffel Tower, and then we can get something after we eat there. So as we're driving back, we realized that at the top of the block where our hotel is a little cafe where we actually ended up eating there probably 3 or 4 times. Well, no, we actually ended up having cocktails there 3 or 4 times while we were there because they didn't close till 3 a.m. So we stopped there to eat. Here's where I got my first lesson on the restaurants in Paris are different than the rest. Well, actually, that's a lie. I already knew this. I forgot I knew this. You knew something, but you don't use it, so you forgot you knew. In Paris, they don't rush you. You know how here you go to eat and they're rushing to get the next person in your seat? Child, they don't do that in Paris. You can eat and then you can sit there all day long and talk and smoke and drink, and you can nurse that one drink for 3 hours. Ain't nobody gonna rush you to leave. So dude was taking his time, but we were hungry. We were angry. Because at this point we were tired, we were hot, we were hangry, we've been walking around all day. We literally, that's our first day there. Like, we literally are off the plane. Child, he taking his sweet time. We were like, okay, I'm hungry. So Jason, the first meal I got in France was fish and chips. Okay. So like I said, this ain't about to be exciting because the first meal I got was fish and chips. It wasn't that great. It was okay. It wasn't that great. But after we ate, we were ready to leave. Dude was like, "Do y'all want dessert?" We were like, "No, thank you." Because we said we got enough time to go back to the hotel and take a nap before we leave out to go to the Eiffel Tower. Because after all of this, it still was maybe 4 o'clock, something like that. So we were like, well, we got time to go back to the hotel and take a nap, before we go out. So, because we were only like 10 minutes of a Uber ride from the hotel. So we were like, if we're going to get to the Eiffel Tower by 10 o'clock, we could sleep for about 3 or 4 hours. We're waiting for the dude to bring us the check. We wait for him to bring us the check. He keep walking past us. He ain't saying nothing to us. He not acknowledging us. We were like, is he going to bring the check? Like, we ready to pay. We ready to go. We keep going. We keep going. We keep going. Like, I'm like, okay, so finally I have to flag him down, and I'm like, we're ready for the check. And I must have said it with an attitude because I was tired and I was hangry. Well, at that point I wasn't hangry anymore, but I was tired. I was ready to go back to the hotel and take a nap. So I probably said it with an attitude, if I'm being honest. So he was like, well, you didn't tell me you were ready for the check. You got to let me know you're ready for the check. I was like, I'm ready for the check. Like, I'm ready to go. So he comes over, and now he got an attitude with us because we ready for the check. Like, I'm like, how you mad at us? Because we ready for the check. Like, I don't understand how you going to have an attitude with us. So anyway, so he got an attitude with us, child. So we left. We went, took a nap, and then we went to, we got up. I slept longer than I thought I was, but we slept for a while. We got up and we went over to the Eiffel Tower. I probably did give him an attitude. I'm being honest. I probably did because I was tired and I was irritated and I was ready to go. And he just kept we literally sat there for about 20 minutes in our mind thinking that we were waiting for him to bring us the check. So we really sat there for like 20 minutes waiting for the check. So anyway, the Eiffel Tower at night is absolutely gorgeous. It is absolutely gorgeous. It is a whole vibe. Like, it's a whole vibe going to the Eiffel Tower. But at night, it is definitely, because the thing was, it wasn't hot. It was decent. It was like probably like 70s. Like, the weather was like in the 70s. So it wasn't hot, but it wasn't cold, right? It was definitely tolerable. But it is a process. Going to the Eiffel Tower is a process. You do have to go through security, which security wasn't that bad. You know, they just check your bags and all that stuff. Security wasn't ridiculous, but you do have to go through security. They have 2 different tickets you can buy. You can buy the ticket, right? He was cutting into my nap time. Yeah, chocolate rolls. So, again, these are the things that you find out. This is why traveling is important, But I remember in French class, because I took French in high school, I remember my French teacher told us a lot of stuff that has come to be true. This is my 3rd time in France, and pretty much everything she told us was true. Some of it wasn't nice, but it was true. But that was definitely one of the things she told us, that they don't press you. You can hang out all day at the cafe. Nobody's going to press you to leave. Remember, J.K. Rowling was talked about how she wrote Harry Potter sitting at the cafe, and she would just sit there all day long. Like, and people are like, how you just gonna sit there all day? But they don't rush you. They don't press you to leave. They don't do any of that. So it's a lot of lines. It's almost like being at going to the Eiffel Tower is almost like being at an amusement park when you're in line to get on a ride. Have you ever been on an amusement park and you in line to get on a ride, and you think you're almost there, but then you realize you just got to get in another line to go to another part? That's what it was, child. That's what it was. So we got in line to go through security. Then we had to get in line to get the ticket. Then we had to get in line after we got the ticket. Then, so you have the first elevator or lift. They call them lifts over there. The first lift takes you to the level that has the restaurant and stuff like that. Has the gift shop and all of that stuff. If you want to go all the way to the top, then you have to get out. You have to get off the lift. You got to walk around and get in line for the next lift. Met some nice people in line. I met a family from Nashville. There were some grandparents there with their grandkids. We had a good conversation with them. The girl's father was a history teacher, and so we had some good conversations. And she was a cool little white girl. She's an overachiever. She's one of those, I've done everything. She's probably going to end up, I don't know, be president of the United States, but she was a lot. But she was cool. She was nice. You know what I'm saying? She wasn't bragging, but as we were talking, I realized, oh, this girl is like president of this and president of that, and and her father is like an educator, so she probably like that. So we had we've been live for a minute, but because we were talking, it was cool. So you go to the top of the Eiffel Tower. Then once you get to the top of the Eiffel Tower, you can actually walk up another flight of steps to the observation deck. I ain't go to the observation deck. My cousin went to the observation deck. Child, I stayed right at that level and took pictures. It's glass there, so it's hard to take really good pictures because there's a reflection off of the light because it's glass. But I didn't care. I wasn't going up to the damn I wasn't walking all the way up the next flight, child. At that point, I was over it. Not over being there, but I was like, I don't need another level. Like, I'm good. We're here. We're at the top. We're good. The view was beautiful. Yeah, the view was definitely beautiful. I mean, it was worth it. I don't want to go to Europe in the summer anymore. It can be miserable. You get back to the hotel smelling like European. Ooh. DMV. Look at you. Look at you. Did you see a lot of stray cats and dogs? When I went to Amsterdam, some of the cafes allowed cats inside. Ooh. No, I didn't see a lot of that. Oh, no. I saw a lot of that when I was in Puerto Rico. Now, when I was in Puerto Rico, I did, but not, yeah. So, hey, Jose. Hey, boo. Yeah, but I posted some of the pictures from the Eiffel Tower. They're on my page. They were beautiful though. It was beautiful. It was worth it. So then when we came down and we left or whatever, by this time it's like maybe it's after midnight, but we're hungry again because we really hadn't eaten since earlier that day. So when we got off, they had like these little like little tut-tuts, I guess you want to call them. The little that they look like the bikes where the people ride you around on the bike, but it's an electric engine. They ain't really biking. Like they high tech now. Like they ain't really physically. I mean, they are, but they got help. So they had those out there. So me and my cousin was like, let's ride that. It was a little pricey, but it was the experience. It was cool riding around France, open air, whatever. Let me see. I'm gonna show y'all a picture of what I'm talking about. Well, we did that. We rode around there. One of these. See, like that. We rode in one of those. And we told the guy, we were like, listen, we're hungry. Can you take us somewhere where the stuff is still open? So he took us over to the Champs. I always say it wrong. Champs de the Champs. Over to the Champs. And that's where we spent a lot of time because that's where like a lot of shopping was over there. The Arc de Triomphe is at the end of the road. So we spent a lot of time at Champs. So we went there. We went to a little cafe there that was open. Again, the food wasn't that great. Okay. We had some cocktails. We had just enough to put some food on our stomach. I got a crepe, which was nasty. So at this point, I'm like, okay, I know France has great food. We just are not going to the right places because I know France has great food. So we stayed there for a couple of hours. No, I'm lying. Not a couple of hours. We stayed there for a while. Maybe about an hour and a half. Yeah, I guess a couple of hours. Maybe about an hour and a half. Yeah, I mean, the food wasn't. Listen, I had some great meals while I was there, but my first couple of meals wasn't that great. So, so we went back that night. Okay, we slept in the next day. The hotel where we were staying had breakfast, so we weren't really pressed for breakfast. We ate breakfast at the hotel, and the next day we decided we were gonna go shopping. Now, I had made up my mind before I left here that I was going to buy me a Louis Vuitton while I was in France. So me and my cousin, we were going to Louis Vuitton. So the first place we went to the Louis Vuitton Foundation. Like I said, that was just like an art museum. I thought it was going to be, I knew it was an art museum, but I thought they were going to have like an exhibit on like the history of Louis Vuitton or something like that. Child, they didn't. So we went over there and it was cool. It was what it was. But we were like, okay, you over it, I'm over it. Let's go. So we went to Louis Vuitton. First of all, most of the stores you got to stand in line to get in. So we stood in line. The line wasn't that long. Now there was a lot of beggars. This lady, I mean, and they are aggressive. This lady was like begging us while we were in line to get going to Louis Vuitton, and I was like, you know, I don't have no money. I don't have no money, which I didn't. I mean, I had paper money, but I ain't had no change. Plus I wasn't gonna open up my wallet like that. I just wasn't gonna open up my wallet out in public. I wasn't gonna do it. When I tell y'all, she like was like this in my cousin's face, shaking her cup like this, yelling, "Please, please, please." I was like, "Oh my God, like, ma'am, you are being very aggressive. Like, I'm gonna need you to step back." Very aggressive. Okay. So we went into Louis Vuitton. My cousin was looking for stuff for her son. So we went to like the men's section first. And then there's an upstairs area. So we went upstairs first. So we started looking at some of the fragrance. I found a fragrance that I really, 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 really liked. But she was like, "Oh, we're only selling," like it was supposed to be one of those limited ones that they were only selling in Paris. But I probably would have got it. Let me put it like this. I probably would have got it if we had gone back, but we never went back to Louis Vuitton. So here's what happened. I found the bag that I liked. I showed y'all the picture of the bag that I liked. Let me show y'all the picture. I found a bag that I liked. My cousin found a bag that she liked. So let me show y'all the picture. That's where we went that night after we went to the Eiffel Tower. That's where we went that night. And child, this is what we ended up. Ooh, wrong picture. Ooh. That's from the top of the Eiffel Tower. At night, it was beautiful. You can see the reflection from the glass. You can see that there's a reflection from the glass. That's what we got that night. Now, as you can see, I got a crepe. It was cold. So I was already mad that the crepe was cold. And you see that little meal right there? That's like a little like appetizer platter. You see that? It's like an appetizer platter. It's like onion rings, mozzarella sticks, chicken wings, and something else was on there. I can't remember, some sort of poppers or something. Child, that was like 22 euro. Me and my cousin was like, okay, we just gonna split this. Because we were hungry, but we weren't like starving. We were like, that's enough. And then both of us got a crepe. I was thinking that's enough, you know. That's in front of the Louis Vuitton Foundation. As you can see, it's like I said, it's just a art museum. If you're into art, you'll enjoy it. I mean, I'm not saying don't go. If you're into art, you'll enjoy it. And they had a couple of cute exhibits. Like we walked around, you know. They had a couple of cute exhibits. So now that's the bag that I was going to get. That's the bag I was going to get. It was really cute. I really liked it. And then the one next to it is the one my cousin was going to get. That's the one my cousin was going to get. It's like a drawstring, real cute. So here's what had happened. So in France, you have something that's called the VAT tax. Basically, you can get your taxes back off of purchases of over, I think it's over 150 euro. You spend over 150 euro, you can get your tax back at the airport. But they need your passport to verify that, because it's not available to people who are part of the European Union. You have to be outside of the European Union. So obviously US citizens are eligible. What happened was I didn't have my passport that day. My cousin had her passport, but I didn't have my passport. So I was like, well, we're going to have to come back to get it. So that's the same day we went to Nike. Nike had some cute stuff. The Nike store there, they had this thing where they'll make, you could get your Air Force Ones and they'll like personalize the Air Force Ones. And I was going to get a pair because I was going to get like my nickname put on it with Paris 2022. But they ain't have no letters. Like, I was like, how y'all don't have no letters? Like, they were missing, my nickname is Classic. So they were missing like the S, they were missing the I. I said, well, I can't get. So then I was like, well, I was going to get Really B. They couldn't spell out, they were missing letters to spell out Really B. I said, how the hell are y'all going to offer something like this and not have all the letters. So I asked them, I said, so are y'all gonna make some letters tonight? Because I'm thinking they had just run out that day. And they were like, oh no, they mail us the letters. Because I'm thinking, I mean, it didn't look like it was that complicated. Like if you have the right machine, you could just print it out. Like it didn't look like, I mean, we're not talking about something that was real complicated. They were like, oh no, they send us the letters. I said, so y'all don't just make these here? Right, Popeyes and no chicken. So needless to say, I didn't get no shoes. But I did get personalized. Where'd I put it? I'm not going to be able to find it right now. Because my cousin just gave it to me Saturday. Let me think. What bag did I have Saturday? Oh, shoot. I'm not going to find it. But you know how you can put those little things on your sneakers, like at the bottom of the sneaker on like Air Force Ones, the little silver tabs? They engraved those. So I got some personalized. I got some of those. Those were like €5. That wasn't really expensive. And they have like the shoestrings. You could pick, like they had like these different color shoestrings and stuff like that. But I was like, all right, whatever. Like it was whatever. That was the same day we went to Gucci and they wouldn't let us in. We stopped at a cafe. Now, this was the first really good meal we had. Now, where did we go? Oh, while we were at the Nike store, the dude at the Nike store was real cool. We had a conversation with him and he was like, y'all know y'all don't have to tip people here, right? We were like, what? He said, yeah. He said, you know you don't have to tip the waiters. You know everything's included. You don't have to tip here. We were like, because you know we have been tipping everybody, right? We still ended up tipping because it's a hard habit to break. Like even though in Europe you don't have to tip and it's everything is included, it's a hard habit to break. It is a really, really hard habit to break. Even when we went to the hotel, when we got to Nice and we went to the hotel in Nice, the guy who brought our luggage up, he wouldn't take our tip. He was like, no, this is part of my job. He wouldn't take it. Like we literally had to be like, please take it. Please. He was like, no, it's part of my job. So I was like, whoa, we don't have to tip. So when we left there, we stopped at this cafe. Our waiter was absolutely great. He was hilarious, right? He was funny and he was hilarious. And the food was good. What did I get? Let me see if I remember what I ordered. Oh shoot. My cousin got like this seafood salad. It was so it was so good. It wasn't called a seafood salad, but that's basically what it was. Her shrimp was like this big. It was so good. It was so good. Gucci wouldn't let us in. I told you that story. I told y'all that Gucci would not let us in. Didn't I tell you that story, Retro? I thought I told you that. That's Retro's story. He loved Gucci. But Gucci wouldn't let us in. So, but the cafe that we stopped at, it was really, really cute. I'm trying to remember what I got, but the food was so good. The food was really, really good. I'm trying to remember. Let me see if I got a picture. Because I took a picture of most of my meals. Well, the good ones. Let me see if I got a picture of my food. Yeah, the Nike store, they had a lab. They call it the sneaker lab. And that's where that's where you would go in and make your own sneakers. That's it right there. Nike by you. And the store at the they had like all kinds of interactive stuff at the Nike store there. Like you could go through and they would show you how they make different things or whatever. It was real cool. Now there's a drink in Paris that we kept seeing called porn star. The first time we saw it, we were like, the porn star? Like, it's a drink called a porn star? But then we kept seeing it. So we went on and ordered it. It's good. I probably must have had 3 or 4 porn stars while we were there. It's good. So actually, I probably had about 4 porn stars. It's good. So that's what the porn star looks like. Well, at that, different places made it different ways, but that was the porn star at the one place we went. That's what I got. I got the quiche. It was the quiche of the day, and then I got a salad. And you can see my cousin's salad. It It was grapefruit and it was grapefruit with, you see how big the shrimp is? Grapefruit, and then that salmon, that's avocado at the top, and then that's, that salad. It was so good. It was really, really good. So that was the first really good meal that we had. And the waiter was so hilarious. The waiter was funny, and it was hilarious. So later on that night, we did a cruise around the Seine, which is the water that's around the Eiffel Tower. So we did a cruise around the Seine, and we met a couple of more cool people there. We met this family from Texas. I could tell, Chad, I could tell they was Republicans. They probably voted for Trump, and I could tell they were trying to get me in to a conversation with them about politics. But I was like, I'm not taking the bait. Other than that, they were cool. I mean, we had a cool conversation with them, but I could just tell by the way the dude was talking that he really was trying to get me to go there. Once they found out we were from DC, I was like, I ain't going there with you, bro, because you ain't about to take me there. They had 2 little girls with them. Once the wife found out I was a teacher, she was like, oh my gosh, thank you so much. She was like, that time that I had to stay, basically, she was like, that time that I had to stay at home with my kids and try to teach them something, she was like, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Okay. And so while we were on there, we met this this lady who I ain't gonna lie, y'all, I forgot her name, but she was a really nice lady. She was like in her 30s. She was from Singapore, and she was traveling. She said she had friends in Paris, and so she had basically been traveling all summer. And she's an entrepreneur. She has her own business, and she can work from anywhere. She can work from her laptop. So she was just like traveling. She had been to Germany. She had been to Barcelona. She had been to London. Like, she literally had just been traveling all over Europe. So we talked the whole time. Like, we had really good conversation. We talked the whole time. So when we got ready to leave, we had gotten a couple of restaurant recommendations from our hotel near where we were going to be. And so she was like, what are you guys getting ready to do? And we were like, we're getting ready to go eat. And so she was like, you mind if I, tag along with y'all? We were like, no, come on. Cause she was by herself and it was just us. We didn't care. So we went to dinner and we had a good time. We had a really nice conversation. She was telling us that she was dating while she's traveling. She was on, I think she was on Tinder, and maybe not Tinder, but one of them websites. And she's gay. And so she was talking about how in Singapore, she can't really date. Like, her mom won't accept it. Her family is not accepting of her sexuality. She was like, she hasn't even really come out of the closet. So she's taking advantage of really being away from home and being able to date. And so she was talking about, like, she had been on a couple of dates with this chick, and it was funny. It was funny. Child, we was giving her dating advice and stuff, and talking about, well, she might be playing games, and it was funny. Again, what did I have for dinner that night? You know what? I think I did fish and chips again, and it wasn't good again. Now the dessert was good. We did like a variety platter for dessert. So we had like the cheese, and I'm not a big cheesecake eater, but baby, that cheesecake was so good. But we ordered a couple. So we had cheesecake, creme brulee, a tart, some sort of a tart, like a cream puff. Like, we ordered a few things, and then we all just tasted them. So that was cool. So that was pretty decent. And then we took the Uber back, and that was when we realized that the restaurant that was near our hotel stayed open late. That's when we found out they stayed open until 3 a.m. So we sat out there and had a couple of cocktails. I had a couple of more porn stars, and we sat out there for a little while before we went to bed. We probably were, we probably were still on like DC time, because we stayed up a little bit or whatever. So while we were sitting there is when we had the conversation about Louis Vuitton, right? So here's what happened, y'all. Here's why I did not go back to Louis Vuitton and get my bag. Couple of reasons. Reason number one, I was like, I like the bag, but there was nothing spectacular about the bag. Like, I can probably get that bag online. I know I can probably get that bag at the Louis Vuitton store here. There was nothing like, oh my gosh, you can only find it here, right? Now, granted, I don't say the taxes. I don't say the taxes. But my biggest reason for not going back at that time was I was like, we still have 5 more days in France. And even though I budgeted my money, like I had a Louis Vuitton fund, like I'm not even bullshitting y'all. I had money set aside specifically for a Louis Vuitton bag. I said I'll buy a bag within this price range. And that wasn't even a part of my spending money. Like I specifically put money aside for this. So I had the money, but I didn't want to put myself in a position where if I bought the bag on day 2, then when we got to Nice, I saw another bag that I liked more, or a different bag at a different store altogether. Like I didn't want to feel like I blew all my money on a bag on the second day, and then I find something I like better. And my cousin she was like, yeah, I kind of feel the same way. Like, and then the other thing, there's a Louis Vuitton on every damn corner in France. Like there are stores, listen, I'm not exaggerating, y'all. There must have been 4 or 5 Louis Vuitton stores just we passed in France. So I was like, they got them in the airport. We're going to Nice, they're going to have Louis Vuitton. We're going to Saint-Tropez, they're going to have Louis Vuitton. Like, we can always double back and get the bag if we decide to get the bag. We can always double back. So we agreed that we just were going to wait. We still hadn't gone to Dior because I was like, I wanted to go to Dior. We still hadn't gone. We didn't get into Gucci, but at that point I was like, fuck Gucci. They wouldn't let me in. Fuck them, But there was some other like designer stores that we wanted to look into. So I was like, we just wanted to kind of just wait. You're a foodie. See, I'm not a foodie. So the bad food, I was disappointed, but I wasn't mad. You know what I'm saying? I was disappointed, but I was like, eh. But the food got better. The food situation, it got better. So that was the whole Louis Vuitton thing. Like me and my cousin had a store, and I told her, I said, listen, if you want to go back, I'll go back with you. Like I'm not saying we can't go back. If you decide you want to go get your bag. And she was saying the same. And it's the reason why me and my cousin, she's like one of my best friends. Like she's like my best, like she's one of my best friends. And we are on the same page a lot of times. We shop together a lot. We do a lot of, and a lot of times we're on the same page. And it was funny because she was thinking it and I was thinking it. And then when we said it to each other, I was like, I was thinking the same thing. Damn near starved in France as a vegetarian. I could probably do better now that I eat seafood. Oh yeah. How long was I on the trip? We were on the trip for what? 7 days, 8 days. We left Tuesday. We came back that next Wednesday. So 7 days. So this was day 2. You know what I'm saying? We went to Louis Vuitton day 2. And I was like, it's so early in the trip. If I go into a store later on and I see a bag that I want to be able to, I don't want to feel like, damn. I just don't want that regret of, damn. So we decided, because I said, listen, we're going to Nice. We're going to Saint-Tropez. We can double back. And there's a Louis Vuitton store. There's probably, in Charles de Gaulle, there's probably 3 Louis Vuitton stores. And I'm not exaggerating. Because I saw at least 2 Gucci stores, 2 Dior stores, Chanel. Like in every gate, like they have different sections of the airport. In every section of the airport, they have the stores there. So, hey, Virgin Love, what's up? I learned how unfair the pay was when I worked at high school too as a waitress. I never forget how hard I worked. Oh, you talking about the waitresses and stuff? Yeah, exactly. So that was day 2 in France. So that was Wednesday, Thursday. Okay, so Friday was our last day in France. So what did we do Friday? Shoot, I'm trying to remember now. Shit. We slept in. I know we did that. We slept in. Oh, we went to La Dorée, which is like the famous macaroon place. Is the green. Oh man, I don't have any. Oh shoot, I done thrown everything away now. I ate all my stuff. But it's La Dorée. So we went there for breakfast. Well, by the time we got there, it was brunch, child. But we went there for brunch. And that food was good. My cousin had I think I took pictures of her food. Yeah, so that's it right there. La Dore. I know I'm not saying it French in my French accent, but that's where we went. Um so I got that was like ham and cheese. I forgot the proper name for it, but it's like ham and cheese swirl thingy mabobs. It was good with French fries. My cousin got the avocado toast. You see how pretty that is? That's avocado, that's salmon and sour cream. See how pretty that is? So that's what she got. And then we got macaroons. We got macaroons. Which they're famous for their macaroons. Like there was a line down the street of people just trying to get into the bakery to buy the macaroons. The caramel macaron took your breath away. Listen, them macarons were good. I ain't even gonna front. They were good. So we did that. When we left there, that's when we went to Dior. We left there and we went to Dior. And then we went into this boutique, right? Now the boutique was on the equivalent of like what Rodeo Drive is. Because on this street, the street will be on, it had Gucci, Balenciaga, Versace, Armani, Fendi, Dior, Louis Vuitton. If you name a designer, it was probably on that street. Valentino, like if you name a designer, it was on that street. Hey Tabitha, what's up, boo? Hey Crispies. So we went into the boutique and it was called Barbara Bowie. And I ended up getting a bag out of there. Now the bag wasn't cheap. It wasn't Louis Vuitton, but it wasn't cheap. But I was glad in that moment. I was glad that I hadn't bought the Louis Vuitton because I got this bag. This is the designer, Barbara Bowie. And she right now she doesn't have any stores in the US. She had a store on Rodeo Drive and she had a store in New York, but they closed during COVID. But she said that they have plans to open up stores here in the US again. But this is the bag that I got. It's this is crocodile leather. And it's like an army green color. It's like an army green color. It's a cross. It can fit like a crossbody. It fits across, and it's thin, but it opens up like it's accordion. It opens up. Oh, I got it upside. No, I don't. Oh, but you see, it opens up like an accordion. I love this. I was like, oh my goodness! And this store was literally right next to the Gucci store. And they had some really cute stuff in there. Like they had this bag in different colors, and my cousin got a bag out of there too. It's really cute. It was really, really cute. And you could tell she's, like I said, my thing is, I mean, she's clearly not as big of a designer as some of those other stores, but hell, she could afford the rent because she was right there with them. I was like, I don't know, she can afford the rent. But the sales lady was really nice. She knew how to sell the product. So I got that. I need to take that upstairs. I gotta take that upstairs. But y'all know I love purses. And for me, I love that bag. I was like, oh my gosh, I like the color because she had it in black. I think it was black, brown, blue. I think it was in blue. You like the bag that it came in, the dust bag? Yeah, that's the dust bag that it came in. Mm-hmm. So I got that, and then we went up to Dior, and I got some cologne from Dior. I got some they claim it's only sold in Paris, child. I don't know if it is or not, but it smelled good. I bought it, child. And my cousin got she got something for her son out of Dior, because she was looking for a belt for him, and she was gonna get him a Gucci belt, but Gucci wouldn't let us in. So she was like, fuck Gucci. I said the same thing. I was like, well, fuck Gucci then. So she got him a belt, a buckle, like a Dior belt buckle. So he could put it on any belt that he has. This is her son. Her son is the one that just passed the bar. So that was like her little gift for him, passing the bar or whatever. So when we left Dior, where did we go when we left Dior? Oh, we went to the Louvre. Shit. So we had tickets for the Louvre. Now let me tell y'all something. This is where Really B ran out of steam. I'ma just go on. Okay, Tabitha, hold on. I'm gonna tell the Gucci story. I'm gonna come back and tell the Gucci story. Give me 2 seconds. I'm gonna come back around because I think some of y'all might not have heard the Gucci story. So I'm gonna come back around to the Gucci story. This is where Really B ran out of steam. Okay. We have been going full throttle since we got off the plane. We have been all over Paris. We have been in and out of Ubers, honey. We have been in and out of, we have been shopping. We have been sightseeing. Went to the top of the Eiffel Tower, honey. This is where Really B ran out of steam. Woo, this is where I ran out of steam. We got to the Louvre. First of all, the Louvre is fucking huge. It is huge. Now, we had tickets. We had already bought tickets a day in advance. I knew that the Louvre was huge. I'd already decided that I was not walking all over the Louvre. I was like, and people had already told me that the Mona Lisa is underwhelming. But I was like, who not going to go to the Louvre and not go to the Mona Lisa? So my thing was, if I make it to the Mona Lisa, I'm over it. The rest of it, I could care less. At this point, because I knew I was running out of steam. I was tired and I knew I was running out of steam. So, we had where our cab driver dropped us off. He could have got closer, but I think traffic was bad and he was like, fuck it. We were technically at the Louvre, but he could have got us closer to the front door. So by the time we walked from where he dropped us off, we had to walk through this courtyard. We were coming in through like the back area. We walked through this courtyard, yada, yada, yada. It was hot as fuck. Like the sun is literally beaming. There's no shade. The sun is beaming down on you. By this time, my legs hurt. I'm tired. I didn't give a damn about seeing the Mona Lisa. I just being honest with you. But I didn't want to disappoint my cousin. You know what I mean? So I was like, I'm going to push through. If that means I just going to get inside and sit down and I just got to, like I had to keep sitting down but I was like, I'm going to go on in and we're going to make it happen. My cousin knows me. This goes back to us knowing each other. Oh my gosh, I'm getting emotional. But this goes back to us knowing each other. She was like, we don't have to go in if you don't want to go in. I was like, nope. I said, this ain't about me. It's about both of us. We got the tickets. We're going to make it happen, right? She was like, okay. She said, but I'm telling you, I'm good. Like, I don't want you to think that I'm just saying that. I'm serious. I'm good. We don't have to go in. I was like, nah. I was like, nah. Because it's her trip too. You know what I'm saying? Child. So you're walking through where you see the famous like pyramid or whatever right there at the Louvre. We hit that corner. Baby, I saw that line. Now, mind you, we had tickets. So I said, okay, well, that must be the line for the people who need to buy tickets. Oh, no. That was the line for the people with tickets. Bitch, I saw that line. I looked at my cousin. I said, okay, yeah, I'm good. Because that meant that I would have had to stand up for at least, that line was, listen, that was at least a 30, 40-minute line. In the sun, standing up. My legs were already hurting. I was already hot as fuck. Baby. Thank you. Okay, Abby. Abby said, keep braiding my hair. Baby. Y'all know I talk with my hands. Baby. I'm so glad she said she wasn't pressed to go in. She saw that line. We saw that line. We said, okay, we're going to dinner. The dude at La Dernay, he had given us the name of a restaurant to go to. So that wasn't too far. It wasn't in walking distance. I mean, it probably was in walking distance for people, not us. But it wasn't in walking distance for us. But we got a cab there. And it was a really nice restaurant. It was a little high end. But here's my thing, y'all. We were paying high end prices at cafes. So I didn't mind paying a high-end price at a high-end restaurant. Y'all know what I'm saying? Where you had the ambiance and the cloth tables, cloth napkins and all of that. So it was a really nice restaurant, and we had got there before the lunch, before the dinner rush. So that was cool because the first thing the man said was, "Do you have a reservation?" And we were like, "Oh no, we didn't know we needed one." And he was like, "No, you're fine. I was just checking to see if you had one." But by the time we ate and we were leaving, the restaurant was full. And the food was good. The food was so good. We had wine. We had my cousin got it was some kind of stew. It was so good. It was really, really good. It wasn't beef. It was some kind of stew. Veal. She got veal stew. And I got, what did I get? Damn it. I keep forgetting did I take a picture of it? Hold on. I don't know why I keep forgetting. Child, that's me in front of the Louvre. Can you tell I'm over it? Can you see my face? I couldn't even really get a good smile in. Do you see I'm over it? That is in front of the Louvre. You could tell I'm over it, right? You could tell I'm hot and I'm over it. Oh, that was my dinner. It was salmon with like a sauce, and then that was like a stewed vegetable situation going on in the back. It was good. It was so good. It was so good. The stewed, the stewed vegetables was so good. It was so good. We left there. It was our last night in Paris. We went back to our little cafe up the street from my hotel. Well, up the top of the corner. And we we had some cocktails. And it was two dudes that we had run into earlier. We were at the other restaurant the day before that was sitting next to us. And we had a real cool, they were from Saudi Arabia. We think they were there as a couple. They weren't doing anything overtly couple-ish, but you just kind of got a vibe that they was together. But we had a really good conversation with them. We talked to them, whatever, and they were like, "Yeah, y'all need to come to Saudi Arabia. Y'all need to visit." They were like, we talked a little political stuff about Saudi, the Saudi, because my cousin that we were meeting in France, the one that lives in Africa, she grew up in Saudi Arabia. Her, she's from Maryland, but her dad, the company he worked for. Oh, okay. I'm about to say, I thought I heard somebody at the door. But the company that he worked for sent them to Saudi Arabia back in the 80s. And so she actually grew up in Saudi Arabia. So, hey, y'all. So, we got to talking about, different things as far as that's concerned. So, they were actually staying at the hotel right next to the restaurant. So, we saw them that night. They were like, "Oh, hey, how y'all doing?" We talked to them a little bit, and they actually bought, they bought us some drinks and stuff. So that last night, in France, child, we got drunk. We was drunk. I ain't gonna lie, we was drunk. we were good. Well, we were good and tipsy. I ain't gonna say we was drunk, but we was definitely very, very, very tipsy. Okay, we enjoyed our cocktails. Okay. Now let me tell the story. Tabitha, you still in here? Let me tell the Gucci story. So this is what happened with Gucci. We went to so we were, that same day we were shopping, the same day we went to Nike and all those other stores, Louis Vuitton and all that other stuff. It was getting a little bit late. We were drinking them porn stars. I don't know what they put in them porn stars, but them porn stars are so good. Anyway, we were drinking in Paris. We were drinking, the drinks were called porn stars. Pat. I know, right? Matter of fact, our waiter, the one I told y'all was real cool. He had us laughing when we ordered the porn stars. He was like, "I'm right here." He was like, "The porn stars right here." Like, he was hilarious. He acted like he was going to take his shirt off. He was hilarious. Anyway, so we were, hey babe, we were in walking. So we were like, we were going to go to Gucci, and we were in walking distance, but it was getting late. It was like, I said, "Well, let me see what time Gucci closes," because it was getting late. So we looked on the, we Googled it, and Gucci closed at 6. It was like 5:30. I was like, okay, we need to hurry up and, get there. We were like maybe a 10-minute walk away. So I was like, all right, let's hurry up and get down there. So we get to Gucci. We get to Gucci at like, no, they were closing at 7. It was 6. We get to Gucci at like 6:43. I remember. It was like 6:43. We go, and there's a line. Remember, I told you a lot of the stores had lines. So it was a couple of people standing outside of Gucci. And they looked like they were like maybe Middle Eastern or whatever. The people standing in front of us. So they turned around and they were young. They looked like little kids. I mean, it looked like they were teenagers. So they looked at us and they were like, and so we thought, I didn't think they were standing in line. I thought maybe they were waiting for somebody to come out because they were young. So they were like, oh, they're closed. And I was like, they closed? I said, the thing said they don't close till 7. They were like, nah, they're closed. And I was like, don't sound right. So I went around to the other door. The other door was actually the exit. So the security guard was there. So I asked the security guard, I was like, your brother. I said, what time do y'all close? And I said, are y'all closed? He said, yeah, we're closed. I said, well, what time did y'all close? Because the website says that y'all close at 7 and it's not 7 o'clock yet. And he was like, I don't know, but we closed. So it was another guy standing there, like it was a lady leaving, and he was one of the salespeople. And so I said, excuse me. I said, what time did y'all close today? And he said, we closed at 6:30. I said, okay, well, the website says that y'all close at 7. I said, have y'all changed y'all time? Because remember, other stores were, in France, people be going on holiday. Other stores were closed altogether. So I said, well, maybe these are their summer hours, but it's just not reflected on the website. So he was like, 6:30, 6:45. I said, how you just make up what time you going damn close? I said, okay, this must be a U.S. thing where if a store say it's closing, it's closing. I guess everywhere else, they just decide what time they're going to close. So I went back around the front, and my cousin was still back around the front of the store. So it was a lady standing out there, a white lady standing out there who worked for Gucci. And I said, can I ask you a question? I said, what time do y'all close? Because I'm just confused now. So she said, well, if you're standing, it was a gate around the store, like a little wrought iron gate, not high, but like maybe waist length. She said, well, right, that's what I said, Cams. So she said, well, if you're inside of the gate by 6:30, then you can go in. But if you're outside of the gate, I said, because she was like, well, we don't like too many people in the store, blah, blah, blah. And like I said, there were lines everywhere. So I understood what she meant about not having too many people in the store. So I was like, but we were here. I lied. I said, well, we were here by 6:30. And she was like, oh, well, sometimes. No, she said, no. She said by 6:45. I said, well, we were here by 6:45. She said, oh, well, 6:30. I said, okay, now you just changing shit. Now you're just making it up as you go along. Because now, first it was 6:45. Now it's 6:30 because I said we were here about 6:45. So, at that point, I was like, fuck Gucci. Like, I don't need to get them my money. And at first, and I said, it's me and my cousin. I said, I'm thinking maybe it's an us thing. Maybe they want us in the store, right? So we called the Uber. We waiting for our Uber to come and get us because I think that's when we had to go. That's when we had tickets to go over and do the boat ride around the scene. So we were waiting for our Uber to come and get us. No, it wasn't racist. Don't trip, because I'm going to tell you why it wasn't racist. So while we were standing there, and I'm glad we waited a few minutes. I'm glad we were waiting a few minutes because I would have thought it was racist too had I not seen what happened after we walked away. Mind you, it's still not 7 o'clock. So a white woman and her daughter walked up. They wouldn't let them in. And the lady took a picture. I said, oh, she about to pull a Karen. Because she took a picture of the store and all of that. I said, oh, y'all about to get in trouble. Karen about to get y'all ass. Wouldn't let them in. Another black guy walked up. Wouldn't let him in. It was a car full of, they looked like they might have been maybe Middle Eastern as well. They pulled up in a Porsche. They was in such a rush. You could tell they were trying to get there before 7 o'clock. They were in such a rush. They pulled up on the damn curb, jumped out the car, and practically ran to the store. They had their little Louis Vuitton clutch bags in their hand, their little Gucci bags, crossbodies and stuff. I said, oh, they about to spend some money. Like, you could tell they showed up on a mission. They were trying to get in there before the store closed. Maybe it was something specific they were looking for, but they were clearly there to buy something. Wouldn't let them in. So they weren't letting anybody in. So they were consistent in this we're closed policy. I just didn't understand the we're closed part of it. It just didn't make no sense to me, the we're closed part of it, right? So I was like, and as we were leaving, the Uber took us up the street. I told you every designer you've ever heard of was on this street. It was like Rodeo Drive or Fifth Avenue or whatever. Every store was open except for them. Every store. I said, oh, the manager must have had a date or something. The manager was like, listen, we out. Like, I don't care what the rest of them doing. They still had a line at Dior. They still had a line at Louis Vuitton. Dude was the manager of Gucci was like, I'm out. I got shit to do tonight. Ciao. It was a mess. But when we went to the airport, we went into the Gucci at the airport and we told them about what happened. Like, we told them about, what happened at the one. And the lady there, the manager there said we've gotten several complaints about that store. I said, oh, well, y'all might want to get another manager. I said, because I know it's Gucci and all, but we are in a recession. Y'all better get every little bit of money that y'all got coming, because y'all missed money that night. I said, I can tell you for a fact you missed money that night. It may not have been a lot. But if every person, with Gucci's prices, if every person that they turned away bought something, even if they only bought cologne, even if they only bought a $200 wallet, you missed out on a couple of $1,000s. Shit, even Gucci need their money, okay? But anyway, but the lady at the airport, the manager at the airport gave us a little discount for our trouble. Because you know me, I was like, fuck Gucci. But she started offering discounts. I said, well, let me see what I can find. Anyway, so that was our last night in Paris. So the next morning, so here's where the nightmare started with Air France. Okay, y'all ready? Y'all ready for the Air France story? Okay, buckle up, buttercup, because here it comes. Our flight was leaving at like 7 in the morning, like 8 in the morning, like 8:30. They told us to be at the airport 3 hours early. So we were up. The hotel, arranged a cab for us. We were up at 30, 5 o'clock in the morning. And what happened was, when we flew to France, we flew business class. But when we got our tickets to Nice, we didn't get business class because we were like, it's only an hour and a half flight. It doesn't make sense to spend money on business class for an hour and a half flight. But what we didn't take into consideration was, in business class, you get two carry-ons and you get 2 suitcases for free. You don't have any checked baggage fee unless you have more than 2 suitcases and more than 2 carry-ons. So we were like, okay, when we get to the airport, we need to see how much it's going to cost us and the weight. Instead of 50 pounds, you get 70 pounds. So we were like, okay, but when we get to the airport, we're going to find out what the fee is to upgrade to business class. If the fee to upgrade to business class is cheaper or comparable to what it's going to cost us to put our luggage on this flight, we might as well upgrade to business class and just, fly in comfort, whatever. So we get to the airport, and the way the airport is in France, you have to check in at the kiosk before you go to the lady or the man at the gate, before you do your luggage. You know how, like, at a lot of the airports, you have the option, you can either check in at the kiosk or you can go either way. You can't go just straight to the gate. You have to stop at the kiosk first. So I'm at one kiosk, my cousin's at the other kiosk. Now our tickets are linked because my cousin bought the tickets. I gave her the money. So when I go to check in for my flight, I see her name. When she goes to check in for her flight, she sees my name, right? We're linked, like as if we were a married couple that bought our tickets together, whatever, right? That's important to the story. So I'm at the kiosk, and the kiosk doesn't give me the option of checking my bag in. It doesn't give me that option. So I was like, okay, and it just automatically printed out one ticket. Well, I had 2 suitcases. So I'm trying to figure out how it's giving me, I can't figure it out. Now my cousin is next to me. It's giving her the option to pay for her second bag, but it's not taking none of her credit cards. It just keeps saying decline. And she was like, okay, I know I got money. Like, to the point where she even checked her balance while we were standing there and called the bank. Like, well, maybe they declined. Like, we're trying to figure out what the problem is. So mind you, we're having 2 separate problems at the kiosk. But what I did see was that the upgrade price to business class was €90. She was getting ready to pay $70 just to check her bag. So I was like, well, hell, if it's €90 to upgrade, and then we don't have to worry about our luggage and worry about the weight. Because mind you, they still haven't weighed our bags. That's $70 just to check it. That's not even weighing it. If it's over the 50 pounds, then we got to pay another fee. So we go over to the guy. Mind you, there's a language barrier. We go over to the guy to explain to him what the problem is. The guy was like, okay, no problem. He tried to come over. The machine wouldn't work for him either. So he sent us to the gate. He said, okay, just go over to my colleague and they'll just handle you over there. So we walk over to the gate. Before we can open our mouth, we couldn't even open our mouth to explain what the problem was. The guy was like, no, go back. Like, that's how he's talking to us. No, go back. Who the fuck you talking to, bro? What the hell you mean, go back? Go back. Nigga, who is you talking to? So I was like, I said, my cousin was like, he told us, she's pointing at the guy that sent us there. She was like, he told us to come over here. So the two of them get to arguing. And the guy's trying to explain that he did, I guess he's trying to explain to him that he did help us and that the machine's not working. You know, they're arguing now, right? So I guess the dude that told us to go back, rather than come back over and apologize, he just walks away. Like, fuck it, I ain't gonna help him. So another lady comes over to help us. She takes us to the gate and the lady checks us in. So while she's doing all of that, we told her, she said, well, how much is it for us to upgrade to business class? So she was like, it's €100 or whatever it was. Now I could have sworn I saw €94, but it's $6. Or €6, whatever. So she was like, well, let's just go ahead and upgrade. I said, fine. So the lady upgraded both of us to business class. Our ticket said business class. When we went through security, we went through the business class line for security. It's called Sky Priority. We went through Sky Priority. We sat in the business class lounge. That's important. I'm telling you this for a reason, okay? We sat in the business class lounge. And in order to get into the business class lounge, you got to show your ticket and they have to verify that you have a business class ticket. We sat in there. So we left when it was time to go check into, our flight. We get to the gate. They didn't change the gate. We get to the new gate. Mind you, we think we're running late because we sat in the lounge. Time got away from us, so we kind of like panicking, like, oh shit. Now, on the U.S. side, inside of the lounge, they make the announcement. They don't make no announcement in Paris. You just got to know what time to be at your damn gate. So we looked up and we saw the time and we was like, oh shit. But luckily we got there. They had changed gate and the flight had been delayed. We were like, okay, cool. So we had time. So we sitting there. So then they changed the gate again. Mind you, they don't make no announcement. People just started moving. We were like, why is everybody moving? They had changed the gate again, but literally it was like the next gate over. So it wasn't a big deal. It was just the next gate over. So now the guy said, sorry for the delay. There was some, mechanical difficulties. The pilot is inspecting the plane. We're going to start loading in a few minutes. Okay, whatever. No big deal, whatever. So after about 10 minutes, he comes back and he's like, we're so sorry. Basically the plane, the pilot wouldn't pass that plane. It wouldn't pass inspection. So they had to change planes. Now, let me be clear. Thank you, pilot, for not passing the plane. If it was something you wasn't comfortable with, something you didn't like, thank you. Okay. But the problem was the plane that they're using is now a smaller plane, which means that they got to bump people. So he starts reading off the list of names. He's like, if we call your name, you got to go to customer service so they can, get you another, reroute you or whatever. So we sitting there. We waiting. They're calling all these names. They finally get to the end of the list. The next to last name they call is my cousin's. Now, they don't call my name, but they call my cousin's name. So my cousin goes over to them and says, excuse me, y'all just called my name. Yeah, well, we about to get the back to school hairdo, child. So she was like, excuse me, y'all called my name. So she looked at the ticket. She said, yeah. She said, you got to go over to customer service. You got bumped. Basically you're on standby, blah, blah, blah. She said, yeah, but I'm traveling with my cousin and y'all didn't bump her. You bumped me, but we're traveling together. And so she looked my name up. The lady was like, oh, what's your cousin? And she told her, she said, our tickets are linked. Like we're on the, it's the same, we're together. So she said, oh, well, what's your cousin's name? So she gave her my name. The lady looked my name up. She said, oh, well, your cousin's flying business class. We don't bump business class. She was like, I'm business class too. Look at my ticket. We're flying together. Well, what happened was we couldn't get our seats together. So I guess maybe they didn't think we were together because our seats weren't together. So she looked at my cousin's ticket. She said, oh, you're right. Well, let me take care of this. She got ready to walk over to customer service to take care of it. The guy next to her, I guess he said something to her. She started helping somebody else. My cousin is still standing there. Now, my cousin then turned around and gave me the thumbs up like, we good. So I was like, okay, straight. We good. I need a rat tail comb. I got a comb around here somewhere, child. I'm scared. And the thing is, y'all know the last time I got into this because I cut my hair too short. Not the last time, but when I did my braids last summer, I cut my hair too short. So I'm scared to cut it too high up. So anyway, she's like ignoring my cousin now. So my cousin was like, basically, my cousin was like, excuse me, you're supposed to be helping me get my ticket straight. What's going on? And she said, oh, well, you got to go over to customer service. She said, but I thought you told me that y'all don't bump business class and you were going to handle it. Something that her coworker said something to her because she was supposed to help my cousin. She was going to help my cousin and she stopped. Something he said to her made her stop, right? Now, this was probably because of this. Because they ain't had no problem helping them white people. But they was looking all over us. So while this is going on, they done changed gates again. So my cousin goes over to customer service while I go over to the gate. So I go up to the guy and I told him what was happening. I said, listen, y'all have me on this flight, but y'all bumped my cousin. We're traveling together. Because he was like, we getting ready to start boarding. I said, y'all getting ready to start boarding this flight, but my cousin got bumped. Like, I'm explaining to him what happened. I said, so what is it? So I need assistance because I'm not leaving my cousin in Paris. Like, I'm not leaving her here. We're traveling together from the United States. I'm not leaving her in Paris. Do y'all know this motherfucker said, well, you have a seat on this flight. Either you get on it or you don't. That's when I was about to lose it. Like, I almost got arrested in that airport. I cussed his ass out. Then I went over to customer service, and I about cussed the people out of customer service. I had to walk away. I ended up having to walk away because I really got rowdy. Like, I'm not exaggerating. I ain't even gonna lie to y'all. I got rowdy. Like, I got loud. I was cussing, and I had to walk away. I was like, okay, before they call the police on me, and I be in Paris, and the damn security office down to the Paris airport, let me walk away. Let me walk away. So my cousin, I'm making this long because listen, this was a longer story. I'm making it short. She talked or whatever. Now, what they ended up having to do was reroute us from Paris to Amsterdam to Nice. The good thing was it was like boom, boom, boom. We didn't have like no long layovers. Like, we were in Amsterdam. We only had like an hour and a half in Amsterdam. And then from Amsterdam to Nice was like an hour and a half flight or whatever. The problem was there's no business class on these flights. Now, here's the thing. I was impressed about being in business class because the only reason why we upgraded to business class is because it was cheaper than us having to pay for our luggage. I ain't impressed about business class on no hour and a half flight. I didn't care. My only problem though was we paid for it. So are you going to give us our damn money back? It was only €100, but it's my €100. You know what I'm saying? Well, I shouldn't say only. It's €100. Dude talking about some, oh, well, we can't do that here. You got to go online and file a claim. I said, you ain't have no problem taking my money here. Why I got to file a claim? So he ended up giving us a $250, not thousand, Lord, I wish. He ended up giving us a $250 voucher each. Me and my cousin both got a $250 voucher. Plus, he gave us another $10 to spend. The $250 voucher was for the inconvenience fee or whatever. And then they gave us a $10 voucher to spend at the little concession at, in the airport to go buy snacks or whatever. So we had to redeem the $250 we had to redeem in Nice. We couldn't redeem it in Charles de Gaulle. We had to redeem it in Nice. I guess to make sure we actually got on our flight. So once we got to Nice, then we could redeem the $250, and they were going to charge it back to our credit card. So we get on the flight to Amsterdam. We get on the flight to Nice. We get to Nice. Now, mind you, my cousin is waiting for us in Nice. We were supposed to get to Nice at like 10 in the morning, and we thought we were going to have all day long in Nice to, do some sightseeing in Nice, and we were going to go down to Grasse where, they have all the perfumeries and stuff. Like, we had a whole day planned. We didn't get to Nice until after 5 o'clock. We get off the flight. My cousin's waiting for us. She's there. And we've been keeping her up to date, so she knew what was going on. She's there waiting for us. We get off the plane. We go down to baggage claim. I see one of my suitcases. My cousin sees one of her suitcases. We pull our suitcases. We waiting for the rest. We waiting. The belt stops. You know how when you down there and the thing is going around and they put in the suitcases, it stops. That means that there are no more suitcases. That's when my cousin lost it. The way I lost it in Paris is the way my cousin lost it in that moment when our suitcases weren't there. Because at that point, I was like, now this is on purpose. How conveniently one of each suitcase is missing. Like, that's not by accident. I don't believe that. That's just not by accident. Child, my cousin was so mad. She was crying. She had to take a walk. She was like, I need to go for a walk. I just need a minute. And now I'm being the calm one. Not because I was calm, because I was pissed. But I was like, one of us got to stay calm. Like, one of us got to keep it zen. Let me tell you what saved Air France in that moment from getting a good cussing out. Air France didn't have anybody at the gate. Like, you know how at baggage claim, there's somebody there. If something's going on with your baggage that you can put a claim in with. They didn't have a physical person there. They only had a kiosk where you could put the claim in. You had to type in all your information, and then they give you a paper, and you had a claim. They didn't have a physical person there. Had there been a physical person there, I feel like my cousin would have lost it. So that probably was a good thing that they did not have a physical person there, because my cousin would have lost it. My cousin would have lost it. So we put the claim in. Honey, I wouldn't even want to tell the story to nobody else if I get child. So we go out to where my cousin is. We go out to the, where my cousin is. Now, my cousin is a world traveler. My cousin, she travels all over the place. She lives in Africa. She's lived in the Middle East. She's lived in Saudi Arabia. Like she's a traveler. She's traveled all over the world for vacation and stuff like that. So my cousin was like, and my cousin, she a little, I love her, but she a little bougie, you know. She said, oh no. She said, this is what we're going to do. We're going to go upstairs because you go up the escalator, you go back up to Arrival. She said, no, we're going to go up because Nice's airport is small. It's a smaller airport. It's not as big as Charles de Gaulle. She said, we're going to go upstairs and we're going to go talk to somebody because we're pissed. Like at this point, we're over it. We had been up literally. We had been up since 5 o'clock in the morning. Really, we had been up since 4 because we were at the airport at 5:30. We had been up since 4, right? Tired, over it. So we go upstairs and we're talking to the people at the gate. And they're not understanding us because, you know, at a certain point, you get sick of telling the story from the beginning. So you kind of start in the middle. So they thought we were just talking about our luggage. So they were like, well, you know, you got to go file a claim. You got to do this. We were like, no, we already did that. We already got our paper. And so they were like, okay, well, what you want us to do? Like, because what my cousin was saying was, she said, I checked the board. She said, there are 2 more flights coming in tonight from Charles de Gaulle on Air France. She said, you guys' luggage is probably on one of those flights. So she was like, we're going to go upstairs and we're going to talk to the people. So my cousin sort of had to take over. First of all, my cousin speaks French. So that helped because she could actually talk to them. She speaks French because they spoke English, but you know, English wasn't their first language. So it was still a little bit of, you know, getting lost in translation. So they got to talking. So I got frustrated. I said, they don't care. And I just walked off. Like I was over it. She was like, don't say that. I think I heard her feelings. She was like, we care. Don't say we don't care. Like I think her feelings were hurt, right? And I will say that the people in Nice were a lot nicer than Paris. The people in Nice were very, very nice. So we asked to speak to a supervisor. Now, mind you, when we were in France, we asked to speak to a supervisor and they wouldn't let us. Like they would not let us speak to a supervisor. One guy flat out told my cousin, if I give you the name of my supervisor, I'll get fired. Like he told her point blank, if I give you my supervisor's name, I'm gonna get fired. Like they would not let us. So we asked to speak to a supervisor. They immediately went and got the supervisor. Supervisor came out. She listened to us. She let us vent. She let us tell her our whole story. My cousin got upset again. She started crying. Like she let us tell the whole story from the beginning. From 5 o'clock that morning to by this time it's after 6, right? She let us tell the whole story. She said, okay. She said, what are your names? You know, she said she took our baggage claim information. She said, give me a minute. So she went off. She made some phone calls. She came back. She said, okay, look, this is what's happening. She said, I found your luggage. Your luggage is on such and such a flight. It'll be here at 7 o'clock. I found your luggage. Your luggage is on such and such a flight. It'll be here at 7:15. She said, this is what y'all are going to do. Because by this time, it's like 6:30. She said, this is what y'all are going to do. She got my cousin's name. And my cousin was like, oh, I wasn't on the flight. She said, what's your name? So my cousin gave her her name. She said, this is what y'all getting ready to do. So she left and she came back again. She had vouchers for us. She said, y'all are going to go and get something to eat. Y'all are going to get y'all a drink. You're going to relax for an hour. And at 7 o'clock, you're going to go down to baggage claim. She told us what to do, how to get back in to baggage claim. We had to go to like some door and ring the bell, whatever. She said, you're going to go and you're going to get your luggage. So then we told her about the $250 voucher. So she took the voucher. She said, give me the credit card that y'all want me to put this on. She took our card. She took the voucher. She took care of that. She put the voucher on our card. Then we told her about linking our flights. We were like, shit, you helping us with everything else. Can you link our flights? She said, what's going on? So we gave her our flight information coming back. She said, okay, this is what you need to do. She said, when y'all check in, let them know that y'all have a continuing flight all the way to DC. And when they print out your, when they do your tags for your luggage, just make sure they put that y'all are going to Dulles. That's, Dulles Airport here in Virginia. She was like, she told us what we needed to do. Very nice. To the point we wrote a letter. We got her name and we wrote a letter because, she was real cool. So we did exactly what she said. We went, we got something to eat, we got a little libation. Our luggage was there when we went down there. We got our luggage. Now, the funny thing was, and I really wish that I had the energy to videotape this and I would have edited it for y'all. But if y'all could have seen us trying to get all of our luggage in that damn, because we got a Jeep Compass. Baby, if y'all could have seen us out there for the next 45 minutes trying to figure out every configuration to get all of our luggage in that damn Jeep coming back. Because what happened was my cousin, because we had an Airbnb in Saint-Tropez. So my cousin had gone grocery shopping and, she had done a couple of odds and ends. So we had like groceries in there. Then she had her luggage. Then we had our luggage. Now that was funny. But I was so tired by that point. I didn't even have the energy because it would have been a great video, like a vlog, for y'all to see how many times we took the luggage out, put the luggage in, we put the seat down, we did this, we did that. Like, that would have been funny. So we get the luggage in the car. Now, by this time, we were just going to go straight to our Airbnb. Our Airbnb was in Saint-Tropez. So we're driving. It's about an hour and a half. Child, I'm going to have these damn braids out by the time I get done. Hope that's not too short. Nah, I'm good. So Saint-Tropez. Here's the problem with Saint-Tropez. Y'all ready? I'm telling y'all this. I got about another 30 minutes. I'm sorry. I hope I'm not boring y'all. We got another 30 minutes. So we were staying in Saint-Tropez. Now, Saint-Tropez is like the frou-frou. It's the south of France. It's where the celebrities go. It's like the little frou-frou part. It's right on the water. It's really, really nice or whatever. So we had a little Airbnb. The guy told us, he said the street closes at 4:00. It's one of those streets that is open during the day, but at 4:00 it closes to pedestrian traffic. He said, but there's a parking garage like right at the bottom of the street. There's a parking garage. So we were like, shit, it's already after 4. We didn't leave the airport till after 6, till after 7. So we were like, all right, I guess we're going to be, carrying our luggage up the street. The weekend that we were staying in Saint-Tropez is the most popular weekend of the summer. It's like the equivalent of going to Miami 4th of July weekend. And we were literally staying, like, if you were staying on the main strip in Miami, like we were literally in the thick of it. It was people everywhere. So that night we get there, we're tired. We found parking, but not in that garage that was at the bottom of the hill because, of course, everybody's there. It's Saint-Tropez that weekend, and the garage is full. So we end up finding parking down the street. We are literally walking down the street with our luggage, like pushing our luggage along. We got our book bags, our luggage. We are literally chugging. Get to the Airbnb. It's on the second floor and it's a walk up. There's no elevator. There's no lift. So we had to carry our luggage up the steps. Now, it was a cute Airbnb. It was a real cute. You could tell it's an older building, been renovated, real cute. But baby, when I tell you that me nor either one of my cousins, because there was a second floor, there was an upstairs. When I tell you that none of us took our luggage up to that second floor the whole time we were there, we was like, fuck that. We just came downstairs and we would take our, underwear, our bra and our panties upstairs and take our shower and stuff. And we would just get dressed downstairs. Cause I was like, anybody taking that luggage up the steps? Up another flight of steps? Child. Child Tracy, we tapped out, baby. So that first night we were there. Luckily, my cousin had bought, enough. We ate at the airport, and then she had like little finger food. She bought stuff for breakfast and sandwiches and snacks, stuff like that. So, child, we drank a whole bottle of wine that night, and I think we drank a bottle and a half. So the next morning, I was done. I was tired. My legs hurt. I needed a day to just recoup, right? So my cousin, my two cousins, they went out, they did some shopping, walked around a little bit. So later on that night, we went down to the water, and we walked around a little bit on the water, and then we had cocktails and stuff down there, and that was cool. And again, like I said, Saint-Tropez, high end, all of the name brand stores there again, all the high end stores and stuff. We went into Louis Vuitton, but again, I wasn't feeling it. I think I was just over it at that point. Child, they wouldn't let us in Gucci again. But this time it was because of space. He was like, you just gotta wait a minute. But it was just funny. I was like, I guess Gucci really just don't want our money. It was funny. But let me see. I can show y'all pictures from that day we walked around Saint-Tropez. I think I posted some of these pictures. That's the picture of us at the airport. We took that picture. We took a picture of us. I think this is when we finally got everything straight. And we were just waiting for our flight to leave to go to Amsterdam. We were over it. That's Saint-Tropez. Saint-Tropez. These are called apricot spritzes. Those were really good. My cousin recommended those, and I think I drank those the rest of the time I was there. The next day we went to the beach. That was probably the best day that we were in Saint-Tropez. We were on the beach, went to the beach, we stayed at the beach all day. We had a great time. And then there was like a bunch of like restaurants. There were a bunch of restaurants there. It was like a little beach town. Like when you walked away from the beach, it was like a little beach town there. And we had the best. We walked around. Y'all look like we're sisters. You could definitely tell we're related. We had a great time walking around, and then we got something to eat. So that was my appetizer. That's like prosciutto with cheese and parsley. It was so good with like a vinaigrette. Oh, it was so good. And then that was my dinner. It was lobster spaghetti. Oh, it was good. And then my cousin had that was a fish dish with, you see, the vegetables and stuff. So that was cool. Hey, cuz, there's my cousin right there. Hey, Nat, I'm telling them I'm doing my France story time. I'm up to Saint-Tropez. There's my cousin right there. So the beach, I think, was the best day. We had a great time just sitting out there chilling, relaxing in the water. The salt water, very therapeutic. We got to watch all of the yachts go by. The yachts that we weren't on go by. So then the next day so this is what we decided, right? With the whole situation, with the car and the walk up and the fact that we had an early flight, me and my cousin, we had an early flight going back home. My cousin Natalie, she was going back to where she lives, but she was taking a detour. She was staying, April Spritz. April Spritz. I said apricot, didn't I? That's the right name. I said apricot. That's the right name right there. They were good though. They were really, really good. So we decided, and it was funny because my cousin Natalie, she suggested it, and we were like, you know what? I was actually thinking it, and that's really a great idea. So we decided that instead of staying that last night in Saint-Tropez, we would drive to Nice, stay at an airport and stay at a hotel near the airport. And then that way we got a chance to see Nice and go down to Gras. Because remember, because our flight got screwed up, we didn't have a chance to do all of that. So that's what we did. So that was cool. We drove back up to Nice. We stayed at a really nice hotel. We got like a suite because it was the three of us and we needed, to sleep or whatever. So we split that. And that was really nice. We were literally across the street from the airport. Like that morning when we got ready to leave, we just walked, got on the train. Like the tram was right there and it took us right to the airport. So we got a chance to go down to Gras. Now, Gras is like the perfume capital of the world. If you guys watch The Real Housewives of Potomac, if you remember a couple of seasons ago when they went to France, when Monique did the trip to France, because that's when she was working on her essential oils line and she wanted to do research, that's where they went. That's where they went. So that Monique could do research on the essential oils. So they had like a lot of little boutiques that you could go into that had like, a lot of perfumes and different colognes and stuff like that. Yes, Gras was beautiful. I would definitely go back. Definitely go back to Gras. And it was really nice to go in and out of the boutiques and smell all of the different scents. Now this is Gras, and Gras is beautiful, and it's an old city. So that was Gras. They have like the umbrellas. Took that picture, that sign. The umbrellas were beautiful. That was like the street we were walking on, going in and out of the different boutiques right there. And so we did a little shopping. We bought a cologne. That was the most like souvenirs that I had purchased the whole time. I bought a bunch of cologne and perfume for people. And then we had dinner, and the dinner was good. I didn't take a picture of my dinner that night, and I really wish I could remember what I had, but whatever I had was good. What did I have that night? It was good though. I didn't like the fries. I did whatever I got fries with it, and I didn't like the fries. But I liked my food. I think me and my cousin were splitting the fries, and neither one of us were impressed. We weren't crazy about the fries. Pizza, thank you. She remembers. I had the pizza. It was so good. Oh my gosh, the pizza was so good, y'all. Oh, it was so good. But the food, it was an outdoor cafe. It was really nice. It was really cool. And then we drove back and we had wine and we packed and we laughed and we giggled all damn night. Yeah, the fries were hard. They weren't great at all. Yeah, they were stale. And it was a great like last night in France, because we just got a chance to just giggle and laugh and have a good time. And we packed. And then the next morning we came back. Our flight home was uneventful. We got in, it was pretty cool. It was uneventful. Oh, it's okay, L Love. I told y'all I would give y'all the story time. I still owe y'all the story time about my road trip from earlier this summer. I'll give y'all that story time. But I figured y'all would want to hear about France first. So France was cool. And thank you, Natalie, for inviting us to come and hang out with you this summer. That was cool as hell. But that's my cousin that she loves to travel. So when she said she was going and she asked if we wanted to meet her down there, I was like, hell yeah. that's a no-brainer. Hell yeah, I'll meet you down there, girl. Yeah, we gonna hang out down in Gras. But yeah, so it was cool. It was a fun trip. That was my first time using, traveling internationally since COVID. And that was the most time I've ever spent in France. I've been to France before, but before I did a Mediterranean cruise, and we stopped in Cannes. And I went up to Monte Carlo. So that was fun. And I spent more time in Monte Carlo than I spent in Cannes. So that was cool that I was able to go back to that area, because I didn't go to Nice. I went through Nice because the train took us through Nice. But I didn't do anything in Nice. So that was cool. And then I went to Paris before, and I went to the Eiffel Tower, but I didn't go to the top of the Eiffel Tower, because when I went to Paris the last time, they had just had, I can't remember what happened, but something major had just happened. It was some sort of attack that they had just had the last time I was there. and security going into the Eiffel Tower was really, really strict. Like you had to have like a clear bag, and I didn't have a clear bag, and I didn't feel like going back to the hotel. I was like, by the time we go back to the hotel and we put our stuff down and we come back, I was like, forget it. So I didn't go. I went to the Eiffel Tower, but I didn't go to the top of the Eiffel Tower. So that was cool. So yeah, that was fun. That was fun. Had a good time. Had a really, really, really good time. So thank y'all for listening. Thank y'all for hanging out. If you're a member, I showed you guys all the stuff that I purchased while I was in France. That's members only. I did it live, but then I put it on members only after I did the video. So if you're a member, you can go back and see. I showed y'all the purse, and I showed y'all like the cologne that I bought and the souvenirs that I bought. So yeah, after all the terrible flights to get there, good, you got a break coming home. Yeah, I mean, it was only that one, because our flight from Dulles to Paris, boom, no problem. And honestly, once they rerouted us, those flights weren't like, it could have been worse. Like the fact that our flight left from Paris to Amsterdam, and we only had like a 50-minute layover in Amsterdam to get to Nice. I mean, once, like in hindsight, it could have been so much worse. Just in the moment, we were over it. But in hindsight, it could have been so much worse. You know what I'm saying? But the rest of our flights were pretty good. Like our flight out of Nice to Paris, no problem. And then once we got to, now I'm about to tell a lie. I've got one last thing to tell y'all, and then I'm gonna be done. Air France, they did it again when we was in Paris. I'm sorry, that's a lie. I'm about to tell y'all a lie. So we get to we get to Paris, and we have maybe like 2 hours to kill. So we did some shopping, child. Me and my cousin, listen, we love to shop. We shop. So we did some shopping. So we're in the airport and we're shopping. And because we think we got time to kill, right? Now, I told y'all, Charles de Gaulle is huge. It is huge. We had to go through security twice, because you go through security to get in the airport once you check in and stuff. And then to the gate that we had to go through, it wasn't security, it was like immigration or something. But whatever it was, they had to they had to check our passport and all of that. We had to go through all of that. We had to take a tram. We had to do all this stuff to get to our gate. So we did some shopping while we were there. That's where I bought a couple of t-shirts. That's where I got some macaroons. That's where we went into Gucci. So the lounge, the business class lounge, was right next to our gate. So we had like maybe 30 minutes to kill before the flight started boarding. So I was like, you want to go ahead and go into the lounge to just, maybe get something to eat real quick before we get on our flight? She was like, sure, that's, cool. Because there was really nothing in the lounge in Nice. Like we just had like pastries and stuff. Like we didn't really eat anything. So I was like, we know we're going to eat on the flight, but let's see if it's something there. So we go into the lounge, and the lady looked at my cousin's ticket, and she sort of hesitated. And then she gave her ticket. And then she looked at my ticket, and she said, y'all are in the wrong gate. We were in like F, and we were L, M, N, O, P, L, M. No, we were in L, and we were in M, and we needed to go to L, because it was literally, we were like, what? Now, mind you, our flight is getting ready to board in 20 minutes, 20 minutes. Charles de Gaulle is huge. We were like, well, when the hell did they change the gate? Because literally, when we checked in, we were at the right gate. Like, we hadn't been in the airport that long. Like, what the hell are you talking about? I've been to Venice. I want to go to Florence. Florence is actually on my list. I've been to Venice, and Venice is nice too. But I definitely want to go to Florence. So we are literally running through the airport. Now, I told y'all my legs were shot. Like I am limping. But my cousin, I told her, I said, you go ahead, because, basically she ain't gonna let them leave me. You know what I mean? We had to go through, we had to get on the tram. And while we were on the tram, we were talking to a couple on the tram, and they were saying that basically they've been through a whole lot too. And they were like, the flight's not gonna leave you. Like they literally just changed the gate. They got to give people time to get there. Like y'all are fine. But in my mind, I was like, you don't work for Air France, bro. Like, that's all good and well. That sound cool, but you don't work for Air France. Child, we running. My cousin running ahead. We get there, and they are boarding. When we get there, they're boarding the flight. So we get in there, we get in our seat, we like huffing and puffing, like, oh my God, thank God. Woo, woo, we made it. Child, we sat there for another hour. So on one hand, I was like, okay, so dude was right, but they were boarding. When we got there, we literally were boarding the flight, but we still sat there for like an hour. I said, child. So I don't know. And they don't, like, you know how here they'll send you a text. Like, I know I've literally been in the airport getting text messages about my flight. Like, oh, your flight's 10 minutes late. Oh, your flight's boarding in 10 minutes. Air France don't do that. Because we had downloaded the app on our phones and everything. Air France wasn't doing all of that. Like, they literally changed the gate and ain't tell nobody. If it wasn't for the lady in business class telling us, we would have probably sat in business class for about another 10, 15 minutes thinking we thought we were literally right next door to our gate. Like, our gate was right there. Child. Air France be on some other stuff, child. It be on some other stuff. So anyway, let me finish taking these damn braids out, child. I was trying not to do the ones in the front so my hair wouldn't look too bad. It already looked horrible, but so it wouldn't look too crazy. But I need to get the rest of these braids out. But anyway, thank y'all for being here. Thank you, Natalie. And you need to call me. Send me a message on Facebook, because you know we need to talk, baby. We need to talk. I want to go to Tuscany. I want to go to Florence. That's actually the next time I go to France. That's where I want to go. I don't really need to go back to France anytime soon because I just feel like I want to do something different and go somewhere different. I really want to go to Greece. Like, I really want to go to Greece. If I had my choice of where I want to go next, it would be Greece. But if the opportunity pops up again, like if my cousin called me again and be like, girl, I'm gonna be in such and such, do y'all want to come? I mean, I'm going. I'm going. But if I plan it, I really want to go to Greece. That's kind of, and I actually want to start going to Asia. I haven't been anywhere in Asia. I haven't been to any Asian countries. So I would love to start doing some countries in Asia. I want to go back to Africa. So yeah, y'all know I just love to travel. So all right, y'all, let me get out of here. I will talk to y'all later. Yeah, go back to sleep, Nat. You shouldn't even be up, girl. Mwah! Talk to y'all later. Peace.